How's it going, everybody? I apologize for the little bit of a delay. I had to go do some stuff today this morning, so unfortunately that was dealt with, or fortunately, however anyone wants to look at it. But let's get into sports talk. So we got CFL playoffs happening. This is the last week of CFL. Right now, there's tiebreakers between, it looks like, the Riders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. If the Blue Bombers lose out against, it looks like they're going out to Montreal tomorrow. Uh, if they lose and Saskatchewan wins, then Saskatchewan gets the first seed, which they pretty much got the tiebreaker through the regular season, 2 out of 1, however you want to look at it. Uh, Riders play Calgary after a bye week, and then hopefully, if we do win, we get a bye. It's another bye week, but it is what it is. What else do we got? We got Argonauts going out to Edmonton, and of course the Tiger Cats versus the Red Blacks, which I'm sure the Red Blacks are that wild card team to make it in. I'm not too sure actually how that works. I don't know who has all the tiebreakers, but we'll know more next week. We'll see where everyone lies, see if there's a crossover. But let's hopefully go Riders, and I'm really happy. I've been more happier down the stretch than earlier on in the year. It is what it is, but that's kind of, I guess, we're dealing with a lot of stuff. Um, but yeah, looks like next weekend will be the wild card weekend. Um, let's just the last of the Nation League looks like or match days. I don't know if that's qualifiers, but the match days or whatever end off next month on November 15th, and that's match day 5. And then it looks like match day, it goes right through. So match day 5 and 6 looks like from November 14th to November 19th. So that Nation League, we can safe to say to keep that just in the back of our mind. World Cup qualifiers, all that goes on also next month. Let's talk a little MLS. Looks like, unfortunately, CF Montreal did not win. They lost in penalties. So, of course, Atlanta United FC goes out to Inter Miami's house and decides to take them on. And it looks like Vancouver absolutely trashed Portland to get into that wild card spot, and they go off to fight Los Angeles FC, LAFC is how they pronounce it. Yeah, and we got some good matchups. Colorado Rapid are being hosted by LA Galaxy. Minnesota United FC are going to Real Salt Lake. Houston Dynamo is going to Seattle versus the Sounders, that's probably a good match. That's going to be Red Bulls versus New York Red Bulls versus Columbus Crew SC. Cincinnati FC or FC Cincinnati taking on New York City FC, and then of course the Charlotte FC taking on Orlando City SC. So we got a bunch of good actual matchups. These are really premier clubs. Vancouver have been a very good club for the last while, so we'll see. Hey, if they could get past, LAFC made a lot of big moves. If we can get another Canadian team to win an MLS Cup, that would be amazing. But we'll see what happens. That starts, I'm pretty sure, tonight. So, with that said, let's talk about UFC 308. Max Holloway and Ilya Topuria, the Georgian, is the main card, and the co-main event, of course, is Khabib's understudy Chimaev Kamzat Chimaev versus taking on Robert Whitaker. big heavyweight. To me, that's where it's at. That's middleweight, and of course the featherweight gets the main event. But look, that's a big time card. That's good. I don't know how much. Yeah, and it looks like Anaglayev takes on Rakhnik, another one of Khabib's understudies. They're all look, man. It's gonna be good. I have the utmost love that this is, and it's course going on in Abu Dhabi. It's gonna be good, and honestly, it's gonna be that good. It's always a good fight out there in Abu Dhabi. Never a bad fight. Never a bad fight. College game day. Let's take a look at some of the matches that are going on. We got Boston College hosting Louisville. University of Las Vegas taking on Boise State, and Rutgers going out to USC tonight. So those are the matchups for tonight. Pittsburgh absolutely destroyed Syracuse. There was a big time play with Liberty and Kent State or whatever. And yeah, so cannot wait. That was earlier in the week, and it looks like we got some bigger matchups. Nebraska going out to Ohio State. You got Notre Dame taking on Navy. Washington taking on Indiana. Oklahoma taking on Ole Miss. Georgia Tech taking on Virginia Tech. Then we got where's the other? We got Illinois going out to Oregon. That's who knows what's going to go on there. Oklahoma State taking on Baylor. We got Maryland versus Minnesota. Northwestern taking on Iowa. Missouri taking on my Alabama, going out to Tuscaloosa to verse Alabama Crimson Tide. We got so many matchups. Texas taking on the new Vandy, and then of course, University of New Mexico looks like taking on Colorado State. Utah going out to Houston, and Colorado hosting Cincinnati Bearcats. And the big Michigan versus hosting Michigan State. Got LSU going out to Texas A&M, and of course Penn State going out to Wisconsin. Look, that's a great lineup of matches, and this is only what, week 9? Yeah, week 9. We're only in week 9. Like, this is still October, and we're having those kind of matches. Like, come on, that's some pretty fucking good matches, if you were to ask me. But nobody likes to ask me. People do ask me, but nobody likes to. World Series happening tonight. A lot of people are divided. It's gonna be a slugfest. If anything, I'm only gonna say in the next few games we'll probably see Shohei pitch, because who doesn't want to pitch in the World Series and bat? Like, that's just me. But that's if it goes to a game 7. That's my personal opinion. NFL was last night. Rams ended up winning the match. They got a safety at the end that apparently is raising some eyebrows to the extent that Vikings were trying to get out of their end. They were only down 8, and they horse collared them or pulled face masking, and didn't get called in front of them. The ref was watching it, so unfortunately the Rams pulled off a safety and got a 10-point victory. But a lot of people mad about that game. A lot of rivalry matches. We got the Jets going out to New England to versus the Patriots. Ravens taking on the Browns in Cleveland. We got Colts going out to Houston to versus the Texans. Falcons going out to Tampa Bay to versus the Bucks. We got the Chiefs taking on the Raiders in Las Vegas. And of course, the more classics of rivalries. We got the Cowboys and the 49ers in San Fran. The Monday Nighter will be the Giants being hosted by the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Back to Sunday, it looks like Seahawks taking on the Bills, hosting the Bills. Chargers hosting the Saints. Lions hosting the Titans. Bengals hosting the Eagles, which people are starting to say that's a must win. Also, another must win, the Cardinals going out to Miami versus the Dolphins. And the Jaguars, hopefully trying to take a game in this year. But Packers, that's not an easy team. But, of course, Jacksonville, they play hard out in there in Jacksonville. I'm not going to say much. Bears taking on the Commanders, so the number one, so Jane Daniels taking on number two, Jane Daniels taking on number one, Caleb Williams. That's hopefully that's the case. We all want that should be the main. That shouldn't be a 225 start time or 205 or whatever it is. That should be the number one match. No one will. And then of course my Broncos hosting Panthers in the Super Bowl 50 rematch, as people like to call it. And then next week on Thursday, Texans going out to New Jersey to verse Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So that is next week. Cannot wait. It's gonna be fun. But now that we're halfway done here, let's talk a little Champions League. We got a lot of teams that are, so the top 8 teams. The top 3 teams goes Aston Villa, Liverpool, and Manchester United. Of course, AS Monaco, Brest, Bayer Leverkusen, Inter Milan, and Sporting CP. From 9 to 24, it goes Arsenal to Girona. We got Bayern Munich, who's way down there. Ironically, way down there. I don't know why, but they lost twice. Leal beat not only Real Madrid not too long ago, they beat Atletico Madrid. So the French showing off their skill set. My Paris Saint-Germain is we're 1-1-1, which is still pretty good. We lost to Arsenal, we won against Girona, and we drew against Eindhoven there. So it looks like we're playing it safe. We're playing it too close to the chest. But you know what? I'm cool with that. Dortmund absolutely trashing people. Barcelona absolutely trashing people. Arsenal still hasn't been scored on, despite that they only have their 2-1, 2 wins and 1 draw, no losses. A lot of Slovan Bratislava not so good. Young Boys not so good, and Salzburg not so good. Red Star Belgrade or Crvena Zvezda, the Serbians, and Red Bull Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk, and unfortunately Bologna, 1909 or whatever. Not the Italians, not doing so good. Club Brugge and AC Milan is not keeping up to standards, but we're only 3 games in. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so November 5th and 7th is the next games. And then, of course, it'll be November for match day 4. And then match day 5 will be the 26th to 28th, it looks like. So that's Champions League. Let's go with Europa League. And right now, I'm actually not shocked to see a lot of this because we got SS Lazio, Tottenham, Anderlecht. Sorry, I think it's Anderlecht. The Belgians, Ajax, Galatasaray, Frankfurt, Midland, and of course Atletico Bilbao, who will be hosting. Their house will be hosting the Europa final. So yeah, from 9 to 24. That's AS Roma, Manchester United still only have 3 draws. A lot of the fans don't like that. I think that's probably playing it safe because then they're not giving up very much. But that's 3 draws, and that's something you don't want. But then again, there's going to be a playoff in there. So, Rangers, Leon, Porto, FC Porto, Real Sociedad, and Hoffenheim. They're all looking good. Victoria Pleasant, they're all doing good. Looks like, but yeah, the Quarabag, Kiev, or Dynamo Kiev, Ludogorets, Nice, St. Gilloise, and Braga. All those teams already looking out. Quarterback, more or less the one looking out, but we'll see where that goes. And of course, the Conference League, where we got. Who's taking it right now? Well, it looks like Chelsea, Florentia, and Lego Warsaw, with Lugano, Victoria, Hearts, the Miliothean, the Polish that will be host. Apparently, Poland's hosting it, so the Angolia Bialystok, and then Rapid Vienna right now, and those are the teams and that are taking the top 8. Looks like the Northern Ireland Larne FC is not looking so good. Same with St. Gallen, the Swiss, Istanbul not looking so good. TSC, and Real Betis are not looking 2 games in and they're already 27th. That's not good for the Spanish. Copenhagen not doing so good. That could, of course, we're only 2 games in for the Conference League, but right now it's looking like, well, it could be Chelsea's. I would not doubt that it's Chelsea's to lose. So with that, that is all I really have right now. Personal opinions, I don't really got any because it's only a few games in. Still dealing with dealing with the hoping for the best for the playoffs, MLS, CFL, all that. But with that said, I got a lot on my mind right now, so I apologize if I seem a little out of character. I will see you guys next week, and until then, tell someone something nice that will change their life. Enjoy life. Love you guys. Stay safe.